The second preliminary step is designed for gathering information about your finished products and its distribution. Understanding basic information about a product and how it is distributed is needed to determine if specific controls are important to ensure the safety of the product throughout the distribution cycle. The food safety team should describe the product, the type of packaging, shelf life expectations, and the method of storage and distribution. The third preliminary step asks you to identify the intended use of finished products by customers. It is important to collect and understand this information in order to identify the potential food safety hazards that need to be addressed by preventive controls. Form 1 of HACCP may already have all this information summarized. 2 forms should be completed. The first form should include all the information about finished products and their relevant food safety parameters. The second form should include information about ingredients, processing aids, and packaging materials. To complete these forms, make sure to use the recipes for finished products. Let's review Form 1 together. To complete the form, begin by recording the plan name and its product scope, which are described in the food safety plan. Examples include bakery blending, processing, and bread products. Only product categories that are covered under the food safety plan scope need to be listed. Note that you may have more than one food safety plan to cover different product categories. For each form, follow the document control procedure and record the issue date, revision date, and the revision number. Also add page numbers and signatures of the approver or approvers to each form. We will review each of these columns. In column 1, list the names and codes of all finished products which fall under the scope of the food safety plan. The names should be exactly as shown on product labels. This column may consist of several entries to include all products that are sold. It may include products sold in different countries, sold as private labels, or even sold for food service purposes. Note that different packaging formats and flavors should also be listed. Sometimes internal codes are given to products, and these need to be recorded in column 1 as well. Column 2 should describe the finished product. What type of product reaches the user or customer? A general description of the product, processing method, assembly, and family of products should be included in this column. List the product type and any treatments or processes influencing product shelf life and food safety. For example, the product may be raw, pasteurized, or cooked and ready to eat. The type of product indicates the storage requirements and how customers should consume it. This information is needed for the development of the food safety plan. For example, if the product is ready to eat, there are many more food safety risks that need to be managed to avoid cross-contaminations. Consider the food characteristics that are important to the food safety of your product. For example, chemical and physical properties such as pH, water activity, salinity, and moisture. List the acceptable limits for each of these characteristics that apply to your product in order to control food safety. These chemical and physical properties play a role in maintaining the safety of your products as they control the growth of pathogens. For example, a low pH is often used to control the growth of mold. However, if your product is low risk and does not have any specific characteristics important for controlling food safety, then record not applicable in this column. In column 3, list all the ingredients and processing aids used in each product. This is a simple list of ingredients which is exactly the same as the ingredient declarations printed on the product label. This could also be an attachment or reference ingredient specification numbers, which also provides more information. In column 4, list all packaging used. Include a general description of the packaging. This may impact food safety and shelf life, such as the use of a modified atmosphere and vacuum. Ensure to list in column 4 the specific packaging system applicable to your product. Changing the packaging to control oxygen levels may change the hazards of concern for a food. For example, creation of anaerobic conditions through packaging can inhibit spoilage organisms and extend shelf life. However, this anaerobic environment and longer shelf life may provide an opportunity for unanticipated hazards, such as C. botulinum, which prefer little or no oxygen. In column 5, list all the allergens present in the product. Review all the recipes for allergens and ingredients, processing aids, and their subcomponents. Some ingredients may be derived from an allergenic source, like how amylase is derived from wheat. In column 6, describe the intended use of the product. This refers to its anticipated use by end users. For instance, other food processors and consumers. Most foods are likely to be intended for the general public. They may also be targeted to a particular segment of the population that is more sensitive to certain hazards. For example, infants and young children, elderly persons, pregnant women, or immune-suppressed persons. Food consumed by these vulnerable groups may require more stringent controls that need to be considered in the hazard analysis. The food safety team should consider the following questions. 1. What is the intended use of the product? It may be for retail, food service, or further processing. 2. What is the potential for mishandling and unintended use? 3. What handling and preparation procedures are required of the end users? For example, is the product ready to eat, or does it require further preparation such as reheating, cooking, etc.? 4. Who are the intended consumers of the product? 5. Is the product intended specifically for use by immune-compromised individuals or other susceptible groups? Answering these questions provides valuable information to the food safety team as they proceed to hazard analysis. The intended use is based upon the expected uses of the product. Will the food be heated by the consumer? Will there likely be leftovers? If yes, give instructions on how to safely store and reheat the product. If unintended use or abuse is likely to occur, such as eating raw cookie dough, then it should be identified and recorded in this column as well. In column 7, record the shelf life of the product. For example, the shelf life may be 7 days, 6 months, or 1 year. Column 8, include label instructions relevant to food safety. This may include refrigeration and cooking instructions. Also, think a step ahead and include any instructions for safe handling and preparation of the food by the end user on the label. For instance, you may need to include whether customers should keep product refrigerated after opening. If so, make sure to mention it and any other safe handling instructions in this column. In column 9, record the storage conditions, such as the temperature and humidity. This will dictate the appropriate conditions needed to achieve the desired shelf life. Include instructions on the label such as keep refrigerated or keep frozen. Knowledge and information about finished products and all incoming materials are crucial for successful hazard analysis. Therefore, to maintain organization and keep it easy to update, we also need to fill out a second form, which is designed to collect information about all incoming ingredients, processing aids, and packaging materials.